we're going head-to-head to pick the best snacks in EPCOT. Hey there, man fam, and welcome to the first ever Booze and Bites draft.
We are here at Diet EPCOT, aka not a festival happening at EPCOT, to recruit the best snacks and dreams to our team, and you are going to decide the winner.
May the best team win.
It'll be me.
Whoa. Whoa.
It'll be me.
Whoa.
Here's how this is gonna go down. We are gonna flip a coin to see whose team goes first. That person will then draft one country or neighborhood to their team. Once that land has been selected, it is off the table. That team now owns all of the snacks, all of the drinks, all of the quick service spots in that country. I say that because this is not a full-service restaurant draft, so Le Cellier, Via Napoli, Chefs de France literally don't matter at all. We will be doing 4 rounds of draft picks, aka 8 lands and neighborhoods will be chosen, and then again, it's up to you to decide. We're gonna put a poll up on YouTube community, and you're gonna vote for Team Allen or Team Molly to see who assembled the best group of snacks and drinks.
And of course, we will be sampling food and beverage along the way, so you know what to get on your next trip to Diet EPCOT.
And now, it's time for the ceremonial coin flip.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
All right, call it and call.
Heads.
It is tails.
No!
Team Allen gets first pick. All right, this is tough. A lot of pressure going first. There are so many good options. But with Team Allen's first selection of this Booze and Bites draft, it's picking Mexico. So, vámonos. Let's go. Well, Team Allen is thrilled to have chosen Mexico because there is a plethora of excellent quick service food and beverage options. From right when you walk in with the Choza de Margarita, where they have a great barbacoa empanada, to La Cantina de San Angel, which also has delightful things like guacamole, nachos, a cheese empanada, and then of course the most popular bar in all of EPCOT is La Cava del Tequila, and that is where I will be having my celebratory margarita and queso for this round 1 selection. Nestled inside of the Great Pyramid here in Mexico is La Cava del Tequila, and at the bar you can select from hundreds of tequilas or mezcals to take straight, or any of their specialty cocktails, along with a small selection of bar bites. Some of the most popular margaritas outside of their standard top shelf margarita include the avocado margarita, the blood orange margarita, or their cucumber margarita, all 3 of which I've had and are incredibly tasty. All right, for our food, we picked up the dip trio. That includes guacamole, queso, and their red salsa. And I have to tell you, that salsa is incredible. It's not what you'd anticipate with a salsa with like chunks of tomato and things of that nature, but it is a deep chipotle flavor, a very smooth sauce, truly, that you are able to coat your chip, or if you're feeling frisky, you can dip it in the guac or queso and then put it in the salsa. It's just so good and smoky.
Now, y'all, this is the good queso. This is the creamy white queso, a little bit of jalapeno in there, but mostly it's just a hot bowl of melted cheese. Who doesn't love that? I also love their guacamole. It's a little bit chunky. It's got fresh lime, fresh avocado, fabulous, simple deliciousness. We love that here in Mexico. Now, as far as cocktails go, I ordered the Lily, which was crafted with La Cava by my friend Lily Aldridge. It's Casa Dragones Blanco Tequila, cranberry lime juice, rose petal liqueur, a shimmering violet essence, and rose hibiscus salt rim, and it comes with a sense of flair. It puts on a show when it arrives at your table. Now, this is a little sweeter than I would normally drink a cocktail, but it's not cloyingly sweet. It's more floral because of that rose flavor. It's nice and light and perfect for a hot day, but you can definitely still taste tequila, which is why I like it.
And for me, I picked up the La Cava top shelf. This is Centinela Anejo Tequila, Alma Finca orange liqueur, rosé wine, Abasolo corn whiskey, fresh lime juice, and a black ant salt rim. This is just an incredible margarita. They call it top shelf for a reason. Not sweet at all. Very, very refreshing. You're able to taste that tequila. Highlighted by the citrus. Stellar. 11 out of 10. Would get again.
All right, I'm not going to lie to you. Losing Mexico in the first round of the draft is a tough blow because it's hard to compete with a bowl of hot cheese and a margarita. That said, Team Molly is pleased and privileged to say, bienvenue à France. France, you are the first pick to Team Molly in the 2024 Booze and Bites EPCOT draft. Welcome in to France, the first country to join Team Molly. It's probably not a huge surprise because this is a land full of cheese, carbs, and wine, 3 of my favorite things, and I'm just tickled to have France on my team. Now, there are plenty of places to grab a quick bite or snack or drink here in France. Starting back over this way, the newest part of France, near Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, you've got the walk-up crepe stand, which serves both sweet and savory crepes, as well as the selections of wine, ciders, a couple other desserts as well. Love those crepes, very underrated in my opinion. On the waterfront, you have got the stand that serves the famous slushy drinks here in France, very popular for those drinking around the world. As you venture a little further into the pavilion, you've got Le Vin de France, which is a wine shop where you can get pours of French wine, champagne, beers. You can also grab bottles to take home. You've also got L'Artisan des Glaces, which I cannot pronounce, but I love all the same. Artisanal ice cream and sorbet. Best ice cream in Walt Disney World, in my opinion. My favorite flavor, coconut white chocolate. Also a big fan of their macaron ice cream sandwiches. But my favorite place to eat, not only here in France, not only here in Epcot, but my favorite quick service spot in all of Walt Disney World is Les Halles, the patisserie back here, where you are gonna have sweet and savory French delicacies, so many carbs, so much cheese, such delicious desserts. It's just très magnifique.
Well, we were able to pick up the goods here in France, but there was no table available, so you know what time it is? It is trash can table time. It's trash can table time.
Bonjour.
Ooh.
From Les Halles, we have picked up my favorite item, which is the croissant hamon et fromage. I am so sorry if you speak French. I am trying. It is a delicious house-made buttery croissant topped with ham and cheese and a bechamel sauce. It is fabulous, and it counts as a snack on a Disney dining plan, which is mind-boggling. Also grabbed the frosé, which is made with French rosé wine, vodka, and peach. I prefer this one to some of the other sweeter slushy drinks in the pavilion, but they're all delicious. I remember drinking them on my 21st birthday. Let's get into it.
Quick, drink it before it becomes rosé again. Go.
This is delightful. Now, it is heavy on the peach flavor, so if you're not a peach fan, you're not going to enjoy that, but you can distinctly taste that dry French rosé. It is a little bit sweet, so if you like sweeter drinks, this one is possibly for you. I could drink this one or half of this one, as I'm going to do, because we're sharing, and then that would be enough for me. But I would say besides margaritas in Mexico, these slushy drinks in France are the most popular cocktail in World Showcase, so I'm pleased to have them on my team. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm more pleased to have this. It's all over my hands, but it is worth it. It is flaky, it is cheesy, it is salty because of the ham, and then nuttiness because of that bechamel. It is buttery, it's a perfect croissant. An amazing choice.
Okay, it's a big bummer that France was taken. Not a surprise though, given Molly's love of cheese and bread and wine. But I feel like for my second pick, Team Allen's second selection in this draft, we gotta go with the UK. Have to. Hello and cheerio from the United Kingdom.
Hello, Governor.
I was gonna apologize for my accent, but you know what? I'm gonna accept that wasn't that. Okay. You know, the reason I selected the UK here is because, well, 3 words: fish, chips, and pub. So that's what we're gonna be enjoying. Fish, chips, and a beer from the pub. The Rose and Crown pub is one of the most popular drinking holes here in the World Showcase, oftentimes filling up with a crowd of people waiting to get a pint of their favorite brew or mixed beverage. It's one of our personal favorites, both for Molly and I, as well as whenever we're traveling with friends to come out here, hang out, have a good time, and just enjoy the atmosphere. Now, the Yorkshire County Fish Shop is the stop for your fish and chips, a classic and must-get item if you are here in Epcot traveling through the UK Pavilion. That light, crispy fish, the delicate crisps. I'm very excited. Oh, and by the way, if you're not dousing it with malt vinegar, you're doing it wrong. I'm gonna say it here first. And as a pro tip, if Yorkshire County Fish Shop or the Rose and Crown are absolutely slam-packed with folks, the Yorkshire County Fish Shop does offer mobile order, and they do have a couple of different beers on draft if you would like to skip the lines. All right, and what is a first, surely, on the Mammoth Club channel? We have combined both Molly and Alan Table Time into being one sort of Transformers Omni-Droid table. All right, so we picked up fish and chips, which is battered and fried cod with some fried chips. If you're from the United States, those are French fries. Seated below the fish, for us beverages, we have picked up the cider and black. Now that is Strongbow cider with some black currant liqueur. And then here we have Molly's beverage, which is a Snakebite, and that is Harp beer along with a little bit of Strongbow cider. Molly likes it with less Strongbow than normal and a little bit of extra Harp, so that's what I requested. Now, normally I would be drinking what's known as a Black Velvet, but because it's a little warm outside, I've decided to forego a Guinness because I don't want to drink a meal when I'm eating some hot fish, and I'm going to instead have a cider with some blackcurrant liqueur. Also, a little friendly PSA from me to you when you're out here in the parks in the hotter months. That's essentially, well, it's most months, but specifically when I'm talking about June through September and October, make sure you get some water when you're at the parks. Hydrate, 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 lest you dehydrate, and we don't want that.
Apparently, iced coffee doesn't count.
There is water in iced coffee, but there's also caffeine, which dehydrates you. And we don't want two factors working against us, just the sun.
So drink 2 iced coffees.
Nope, still no. Still no. Oh, thank you. Boop. You gotta have malt vinegar. You gotta douse it. We're gonna douse this little end here. We go section by section in this house. You stay. All right, ooh, hot fish. And a hot day. Oh, fried perfectly, great crunch, white and fluffy fish on the interior. And now time for the Saturday in Black. Cheers. Okay, a couple of things. This is gonna be far lighter and sweeter than something I'd normally get at EPCOT, but on a day like today, this hits the spot. The Strongbow cider is light, it's not super sweet on its own, good apple flavor, and then with the black currant syrup, it is just a touch more sweet, has a little more depth of flavor, and frankly, it's what I want, and that's to be refreshing. It's not as heavy as beer, so very light and refreshing. I dig it. Also, if you're not a beer drinker, this is something perfect to get from the pub. It's gonna satisfy and scratch that itch, and you'll be able to go enjoy that atmosphere.
And now, the snake bite. Oh, it's perfection. I would say this could be my favorite drink at EPCOT, but it's definitely the one I've consumed the most in my time at EPCOT. It is perfect because I love the beer. It's a nice, light, refreshing kind of classic beer, but then it adds a little bit of sweetness and crispness from adding some of that cider in. And like Alan said, I get like more beer. I do like 80-20 beer cider. It's supposed to be 50-50. This is a good thing to try if you are not sure if you like beer and you like sweeter drinks or you like cider. It's a good kind of intro, and it's perfect on a hot day, especially like when the band's playing. It's a good call. Once again, Alan has chosen very wisely. The UK was absolutely on my list of potential teammates for me. But I think I see your beer, and I raise you with Germany. I'd like to welcome Germany to Team Molly as our round 2 draft pick.
Willkommen.
Willkommen. We have made it to Germany, where there are so many things to celebrate. Starting with the Caramel Küche, the Caramel Kitchen, the Werther's Kitchen, where you can get handcrafted caramel treats, including the famous caramel corn, caramel apples, fudge, cookies, all kinds of deliciousness. Perhaps the most beloved treat location in EPCOT. You've also got, count them, not 1, not 2, but 3 different locations where you can get the famous German beers and jumbo pretzels. And one of those locations is Summerfest, the quick service location at the back of the pavilion near Beer Garden, the full service restaurant. Again, Summerfest, you can grab a variety of German beers. You can grab that giant pretzel. You can also get a bratwurst, a delicious snack, or one of my favorite desserts in all of EPCOT, the pretzel bread pudding. All right, and representing Germany for my team, I have picked up the pretzel bread pudding, as well as a Beck's Pilsner. I'm ills for the pills right now. Alan and I are gonna share that because, you know, safety is important. But Germany, welcome. I'm excited to dig in. All right, the pretzel bread pudding at Summerfest, you can mobile order. You can also mobile order beer from there, so if there's a long line at the beer carts, mobile order from Summerfest. But imagine how delicious bread pudding is, but then make it out of the amazing big jumbo pretzels here from Germany. So it's a little bit salty, it's a little bit sweet because of this caramel and this vanilla sauce on top. Cheers. It is divine. As someone who likes dessert but nothing too sickly, cloyingly sweet, this is perfect for me because the saltiness of the pretzel and then there's kind of crispy on the top kind of breaks up how sweet it would be otherwise. And then the caramel is delicious. It's salty caramel. But really, Germany's a winner when it comes to treats because you've also, again, got everything in the Caramel Küche, and I feel good with them on my team. It's warm. Oh, it's so good. And then now I'm gonna wash it down with a sip of this delicious Beck's. I say it all the time, but my grandfather would call this a beer that tastes like beer. It is just a light, crispy, refreshing beer. It's a little bit malty. You can kind of taste the wheat. It is certainly more flavorful than if you were to get like a domestic light beer, like a Bud Light or a Miller Lite or something like that. I personally don't care for the grapefruit beer that's here because it's a little bit too sweet for me, but a lot of people love that as well, the grapefruit infused beer. They've also got a darker beer, but obviously Germany's known for beer. But you know what? That's not all. Another reason this is a great draft pick, there's a wine cellar in here. So now I got both the wine countries on my list too. So just kind of pulling the winos to me.
I have tequila.
You do have tequila. You know, I've been to EPCOT 10,000 times approximately, and I've never noticed Granny in the window.
Oh,
Yeah,
also Schaffenhofer's just juice.
it's true. It's beer for babies.
Yeah, it's just for children.
Legally.
Also for
Don't give it to your children.
Don't do
It
that.
definitely is alcohol in it,
Do
but
that.
like
It's
2%.
Mostly hyperbolic.
So it's juice.
Anyway, my choice. Okay, so we're down to our final 2 picks each. Round 3, that's tough. I've got 3 choices. I think there's only really one of those 3 choices that I've got remaining that I think Molly would also like to pick. And so frankly, I think I want to prioritize that because I know there's things in there that I enjoy, there's beverages I like, and there's an entire case of food that is enjoyable. I'm gonna sort of gamble my final 2 choices that in a coin flip, I'm gonna be able to have easy pickings between either one of them. Okay, Team Allen, round 3, picks Norway. All right, so the main reasons that I selected Norway, outside of the strategic reasons listed earlier, and me banking on the fact that I'll have a coin flip for my final place in the draft, is 1, you have Einstock and Aus beer. Einstock is a delicious white ale, and Aus is a beer that outside of being sold in Norway is very rarely sold outside there. And you also have the Kringle Bakery. I really enjoy the Kringle Bakery. It might not be as flashy as the bakery that you find in Germany, but boy, does it have some really tasty baked goods. After going to the beer cart and inside to the Kringle Bakery, they currently don't have any Aus beer. What they do have is a strawberry cream ale, a juniper pilsner, a farmhouse ale, but they do still have the Einstock, and that is what we went with, as Molly is doing a great job of capturing B-roll. Thank you, Molly. All right, all that to say hello from Norway. We are picked up here on this beautiful table, this trash can table time, it's trash can table time. Da da da.
Norway's not Arendelle.
That's true.
I wanted to make it clear that I know that Arendelle is a fictional Scandinavian country and Norway's a real one.
You know what? Well done. Well done. This is breaking news for many people. Okay, we have picked up the Einstock beer as well as the sweet Kringle that is covered in almonds.
Yeah, and it's not touching the trash can. I wanted to make that clear. It looks like it was, but I promise it wasn't.
It's an optical illusion. Now, a sweet Kringle is a sweet pastry in the shape of a pretzel, topped with icing, and this has some toasted almonds. Now, they also have chocolate inside the bakery, but I wanted something nutty, so I went with the almonds. There's really no pretty way to go about this. We're just gonna take a big bite. Oh dear. Okay, well, the pastry bread itself isn't necessarily like a thick texture, but it is a bit more glutinous than it would be normally, than you normally expect, I should say. Not super sweet, a little nutty, little hints of some spice in the background, sort of like this sort of like a mulling spice flavor. Frosting over top, again, not very sweet, sort of lightly sweet, and then the almonds on the top give it a great textural break. This is a really, really nice and refreshing dessert pastry that isn't going to make you feel like you're gonna have a cavity. Other popular things that you would find within the bakery case are the lefse, the rice pudding, and of course, school bread. Cheers. It has become very blustery, which I think is a nice respite from the absolutely scorching heat wave we had earlier. I fear the wind. Classic, light, crisp, white ale. Oh. I mean, it's such a clean taste. You're not really getting a bunch of like the wheat or hop or malt. This is crispness defined in a beverage. Cheers.
All right, round 3. It's getting dicey. You gotta make some tough choices at this point. I'm trying to think strategically because there are 2 countries I want. I don't think Alan will pick one of them. So I'm gonna go for the one I think Alan might be considering, and that's Morocco.
Really? All right.
All right, we've made it to my round 3 draft, Morocco. Now, Morocco, I feel like it's very underrated when it comes to its cuisine. And one thing I want to address before I point out some of my favorites, Spice Road Table, which is a small plates restaurant right here on the water. It's kind of a hybrid bar, lounge, and sit-down restaurant. There are drinks that are available to go, and it does list the food available as at the bar in the app. However, I just spoke to the cast members, and they said the food is only available if you sit down. So in the effort of fairness, Spice Road Table food will not count for this draft because we're not counting sit-down restaurants, but it is delicious. Nevertheless, there is a lot of tasty eats and treats to be found in Morocco. For starters, you've got Tangerine Cafe, which is the quick service restaurant across the way here. They've got a couple of kebabs as well as a delicious dip platter. Right here at Oasis Sips and Sweets, you've got some very underrated cookie choices as well as some tasty beverages, both alcoholic and non. Alan's headed to pick up a beverage for us to sample. I'm gonna go over to Tangerine Cafe to get a snack, and I feel like this was a good choice for my team. Just say, I don't think you can undervalue a full bar in EPCOT. There aren't very many of them. Most places serve a couple of beers or wines or some pre-batched cocktails, but Morocco has a full bar where you can get whatever you like. And usually not as long of a wait as, say, the Rose and Crown. They also have, it's not open right now, but they have a little walk-up bar right here in the marketplace, and they'll do little snacks here like hummus and other little tidbits, as well as sangria. From Tangerine Cafe, the quick service restaurant, this is the stone-baked bread, and it comes with 3 different dipping sauces. You've got a classic hummus, you've got tremula, and you've got zoug sauce. Very excited. This came out with a festival a couple years ago, and now they've just kept it on the menu, which I love. And then Alan was so gracious as to run in the rain to pick up the frozen mint tea from Oasis Sips and Sweets. Mint tea is one of the most popular items across the Morocco Pavilion. You can find it in a variety of forms, including frozen, like it is here, frozen with alcohol at Oasis Sips and Sweets, and then at Spice Road Table, which again does not count for the draft, but I must let you know that you can get it on the rocks with gin or without gin. You can also get it hot, and it's delightful. So we'll try that first. Oh, it's so delicious. It's so minty. It's so underrated. It's like a sweet treat, but it's not artificial sweet. It definitely has sugar in it. It's kind of like a mint julep, but frozen without alcohol. Again, you can add gin, but anyone in the family can enjoy that one. And now the dips, which I will point out, plant-based, our first plant-based eat of the day. So anyone can enjoy this too. This is the tremula, which is similar to chimichurri, used in Latin cooking, but it is often used in Moroccan cooking and other Middle Eastern countries. It's made with olive oil, garlic, lemon juice, coriander, and a variety of other spices. That is so flavorful. It is so good. It's not hot, but it's very herbaceous. You can taste the citrus in there. Then the hummus. It's a classic hummus, but you can tell it's homemade very well. Little lemon zest in there. And then my favorite of the 3, the zoug sauce. Got a little bit of heat because it's made with chili and garlic and olive oil. 3 bangers, maybe something a little bit different. I feel like Morocco's underrated, but it's delish.
Okay, so this is now the final round of the draft. Molly did take my, or at least the coin flip portion of my 4th round draft pick, which leaves it very clear for me. We're going to Japan. Now, unfortunately, because of the rain, Kabuki Cafe, which is the cart located outside here in Japan, is closed, so I cannot get the kakigori or the shaved ice. That's kind of a bummer. Also couldn't pick up the sushi. Big bummer. What is also super important to me that you know is you can pick up the violet sake at the Garden House here in Japan. And while it might be a little bit too sweet for me, I also understand that it is a very popular item to grab while you're in the Japan Pavilion. And I know what you might be thinking. What about Katsura Grill? We don't talk about her. We're mostly going to focus on Kabuki Cafe, the Garden House, and what you really should be drawing your attention to here in Japan, and that is Mitsukoshi, because while Molly might have cornered the market on wine, I've got merchandise, specifically candy. And you know you love to try candies. That might not be the first thing you reach for. You want to try something new. Mitsukoshi is the place to do that. So on my B-roll tour in the rain of the Japan Pavilion, I saw that the Kabuki shop was opening for just a blink, just a moment. So I snuck in and was able to pick up some strawberry kakigori and a spicy roll. Now, don't get me wrong, the statement about the candy still stands, but if I'm gonna pick between sushi and kakigori or candy, I'm going sushi and kakigori, and I'm happy I was able to pick it up. Aren't you? All right, now first up the spice roll. This is a mix of tuna and salmon. And you know, I would normally add soy sauce to this, but my hands are all taken, so here we go. This is really, woo!
Spicy?
Yeah. That's just good sushi. Good quality rice, very light, sticky rice. Actually has a little bit of a kick to it. Not anything that's gonna like take over your mouth, but just enough a kick to remind you that it is a little spicy. The fish is fresh. I love that you can get this in Japan. Very, very light snack. To be fair, the best sushi is gonna be inside of the restaurant, but this is a pretty nice substitute if you're on the go. And as you can see, I've already eaten all of it. Now I picked up strawberry kakigori. There are a variety of flavors, including things like pineapple and mango. You can also get a rainbow if you'd like, or add condensed milk if you would like to add a little bit of sweet dairy on top of your shaved ice. I, however, just went for the standard shaved ice situation. I've got to dig down and find the flavor as it is sort of snuck down to the bottom. Yeah. Now, does this taste artificial? Yeah. But not as artificial as other desserts that have strawberry flavoring. It's very, very refreshing and light, and honestly, a massive serving size for the price, and which I know is a wild thing to say at Disney World. Wow. It's just so refreshing. I wish that I had picked Japan earlier so that I could have had this back when it was, you know, the surface of the sun outside.
All right, it is time for my final choice in the draft, the final pick of the Booze and Bites inaugural draft here at EPCOT. Team Molly will be selecting to join the squad. Thank you. Thank you to the oyster ladies. I will be picking Canada.
Huh.
Made it to Canada, home of the roses, but unfortunately, the main reason I selected Canada is closed. Can't really tell on the camera, but it is thundering and lightning, and when that happens, for safety of the cast members, the outdoor food carts have to close, which means the maple popcorn cart is closed right now. The maple popcorn is one of my favorite sweet treats in Epcot because it's not too sweet. It's not as sweet as the Germany caramel corn. It's got a little saltiness from the popcorn, and then you've got that delicious maple syrup on top. Also, as a bonus, you can fill your popcorn bucket with it. So you could buy regular popcorn or that popcorn. The choice is easy. Additionally, probably my favorite beer in all of Epcot is sold at that cart when it's open. It's called Le Fin de Mont. It's from Quebec, which is why it has a French name, and it is like Quebec's Blue Moon, but way better than a Blue Moon. It's a little bit zesty from the citrus, it's a little bit weedy, it's fantastic, and it's got a really high ABV, so you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. Now, I'd like to remind all of you that those two things do count on my draft. They count because I have recruited Canada. What does not count is Refreshment Port, where you can get poutine, because if you look at Epcot's map, Refreshment Port is not part of Canada. But you know what it is? The Joffrey's right here. I looked on the map, and the Joffrey's cart is technically part of Canada, which means I've officially recruited Shaky Jamaica to my team. I couldn't dream of anything better, and now I'm gonna take my own advice, which is if you cannot easily access beer somewhere out in the park, go into the merchandise shops. So that's what we're gonna do. As I mentioned earlier, in both France and Germany, pretty much all of the different countries have a merchandise location that sells a limited supply of alcohol. It's usually beer or wine, depends on which country you're in, but this is a great tip if you're here during a busy time or it's raining like now and some of those outdoor carts are closed. If you want to grab a drink quickly before fireworks or something, go into the back of the merch shops and you can probably grab something, and there's several Canadian beers, so I'm gonna pick one. All right, it is still storming quite a bit outside, so I'm gonna review this beer that I picked up from the store here. Also, look at that. It's a moose dressed like a Mountie. Canada's a wild place. This is the sweet cast member, what she recommended for me, because I told her I wanted a Fin de Mont, and it was closed, and she said this was made at the same brewery as Fin de Mont, and it had a very similar profile, so, but a little bit lighter. So here we go. Oh, yes, that's quite nice. It is definitely still has the same flavor profile as a Blue Moon. I would call it like a shock top because it's a little bit lighter, it's a little crispier. You can taste that citrus flavor. Not as good in my opinion as Le Fin de Mont, but surprisingly to some, Canada has one of the best selections of beer in the gift shops because they've also got Labatt Blue, they've got Moosehead, so, you know, the home of Robin Scherbatsky, David Rose, and Alex Trebek, is treating us well. But also, don't forget I get maple popcorn.
You want under the umbrella?
Save the camera, not me.
That's fair. Do you just want to hold it? You got the beer, got it.
Well, after a very soggy and dramatic walk to the front of the park, it stopped raining.
Of course it did.
And that brings us to the end of our first ever Booze and Bites draft.
This was a very fun way for us to showcase some of the best year-round eats and drinks around Epcot. But now it's time for you to decide who drafted the better team, which team is the winner.
Now, as a reminder of our teams, Team Allen is Mexico, the United Kingdom, Norway, and Japan.
And proudly representing Team Molly,
You can be proud to represent Team Allen too, inspired even.
thrilled, tickled, delighted to represent Team Molly, you have France, Germany, Morocco, and Canada.
Well, let us know who you think won in the comments down below.
And let us know where we should draft next time.
But friends, please be sure to like this video, subscribe if you are new, follow us on all of our socials, and if you would like to join with the Man Fam in the conversation about this or any other video, please join us on Discord. Links for all that are down below.
And until next time, friends, I'm Molly.
And I'm Alan.
And it's been magical.
Soggy.
And delicious. But yeah, my socks are wet.
Bye.
Bye.